tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an A. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Here we go. 180!
Let him know.
One, Omaha.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming, double up.
Garoppolo on first down. An incomplete, crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Me and you all day. I'm coming after you.
One, Omaha.
Mike's 50, Mike.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Let's go.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Here we go.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got, Heavy? Give me something.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Here we go. 20!
Get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
21.
On second and 12, Garoppolo. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Here we go. Black 80!
What's that in? That is right.
12.
You got 4. Check.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And for right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down. Back to the ground, Cook. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 11 at the 50-yard line.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. This is the tight end Fant. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Hey, wahoo!
Garoppolo going to try and throw on third. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. and I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter.
Two. Hey, Haywood.
On first down, Garoppolo. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On play action, now Garoppolo. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Ready up.
41 Mike, right here. 41 Mike. I got one. 6 guys. Check.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson, trying to run inside, but nothing there. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
General West. Hey, Team 6. Ready?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's into the hands of Edwards. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
Here we go.
You draw quarter.
On first down, it's Carson, and he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
They don't keep playing hard.
Now a give, right side. Carson. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
The touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Alert 3. Check 13. Check 13. Check.
I got you.
SOS.
Hey, go. Hey, gun.
I'm coming.
White.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were already backed up. Now they're backed up further.
I think they were being so careful to make sure all assignments were covered that they ended up running themselves out of time.
Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Hey, switch gears. Check. Fresno. Check 4.
I got you. Hey, gun.
50's to Mike.
I got you.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now. You better.
Cook following the penalty. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Here we go.
Brings up second
Mike
down.
50, Mike 50.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
11. Bravo. White.
Now on 2nd and 13. Garoppolo is going to float this one deep right. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones.
Take over first and 10. That's a 12-yard
Check
line.
50. Check 50.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Forced out to his left. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39.
I got you.
Hey, Charlie. Hey, check Mike 39. Check Mike 39. Get it.
They'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going. I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut, it's hard to shake yourself out of it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. 2nd and 10. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
41's coming. 41's the mic. In your face.
They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. It could cost you a game or win you one.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
12, fellas, here we go. 13. Hey, gun. 5.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Broncos.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Safety screaming. Check 20.
A give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Here we go. 6.
He was brought down by Joseph. A gain of 5.
2nd and 5 now. Garoppolo. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Harrison Smith. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So that's now 3 first-half interceptions, and that last one even costlier as it's returned for 6 points. So as a quarterback, how do you regain your focus?
Well, QB 101 says you never show them that you're sweating. Still act like you're the guy, that you've thrown 6 touchdown passes, not 3 interceptions. But he's human. He's got to face up to his teammates. He's got to own up to that. See if he can brace up and also not look over his shoulder and see his backup starting to warm up. It's going to be a tough one for him.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know, but all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
11.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Now Benjamin. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll run on 1st down. Benjamin, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 2nd and 11. Open man, here's Foster. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the 1st down marker.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
At their own 15-yard line.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
And their Broncos 1st down.
Here we go.
Garoppolo now, 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10.
Switch it, come on, switch it.
Lock. Check back.
Garoppolo now. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
21.
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Foxtrot.
Check back the ladder. Rip right.
Garoppolo again. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. To throw on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. He's got his big tight end, Fant. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
Tight end right.
I got you.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. That'll be complete to Cook. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check Mike 11. You must be getting tired of seeing me. Hey, check Mike 11.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
21. Here we go.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. A 20-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. Rosas good with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bradley Chubb in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Second and long. He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They're going to look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tartt. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
Garoppolo looks to throw to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Check 26, check 26.
On second down, Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. They were able to stop him at the line on first down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination. And they got it done on the second try.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
Get ready.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll drop the throw. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
One, Omaha. I got you.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. This is the tight end fan.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here we go. 180.
Check 26. Check 26. Check butt sick. Check butt sick. Shit. Check
21.
Bravo.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
At their own 16-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
2nd and 9 now. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bradley Chubb racking up sack number 12 for him on the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Focus, defense, focus. Mike's 47.
Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on third down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the safety, Jack Risky-Tart. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. On first down, Benjamin. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. Benjamin. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. He'll drop to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Going up top for Kupp. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
That's it, baby. We go for it.
At their own 18-yard line.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth.
Here we go.
Check it out.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Looking left side, and it's complete. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards. Garoppolo now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He's going to let it go. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Broncos push further out in front. Rosas to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Benjamin's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Duke Dawson picks it, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Watch the blood, motion, block. Watch the edge. 41 Mike, go.
2nd and 10. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
General West. Hey, Alpha. Fire.
They'll set up a throw. He's going to loft one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6.
Check.
Now back to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Why? Get wide. Check 37.
On 2nd down. It's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From his end zone, Garoppolo on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
2nd and 3. And he'll find Moreau here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber.
He'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Edwards. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A Raider first down, 17 yards. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Denver, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Oakland, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Step back, let me